Hello everyone, welcome to Bhadra Academy. Today we will continue with our quiz. We had discussed earlier about 10 questions. Today we continue with question number 11. Consider the following statements regarding the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. In short, what do we call this? BIMSTEC organization. So इस क्वेश्चन का ऑप्शन है BIMSTEC connects South Asia with Southeast Asia through countries lying around the Bay of Bengal. That means we have a South Asian countries and Southeast Asian countries. Is it correct or not? Option 2. All BIMSTEC member countries are also members of SAARC. Option 3. The permanent secretariat of BIMSTEC is located in Dhaka, Bangladesh. Option 4. Myanmar and Thailand are the only Southeast Asian countries that are members of BIMSTEC. Okay. So now the options are 1, 3 and 4, 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if you look at all these 4 statements, there is some difficulty, especially with regard to statement number 2. So let us look at the analysis. So if you look at the statement 1, BIMSTEC connects South Asia with Southeast Asia, that is correct. All BIMSTEC member countries are also members of SAARC. No, because this Thailand, Myanmar, these are not part of what we can say SAARC region. And the permanent secretariat of BIMSTEC is located in Dhaka, correct. Myanmar and Thailand are the only Southeast Asian countries that are part of the BIMSTEC. It is also correct. So the answer, correct answer, what will be the correct answer will be? So the correct answer will be answer A, that is 1, 3 and 4, because all members of the BIMSTEC are not members of SAARC. Okay. So sometimes exam mein this kind of confusion aayega, we have to be little careful. Question number 12. Consider the following statements regarding economic planning in India. This is a very common question which can be asked in many exams. Option 1. The Planning Commission was established by a cabinet resolution and therefore it is not a constitutional body, not by a constitutional provision. Option 2. Concept of directive planning was adopted after the economic reforms of 1991. Option 3. Niti Aayog follows cooperative federalism approach where the center and states come together in policy making of India. Option 4. The National Development Council was chaired by the Prime Minister of India. So now which of these options the statements are correct? Whether it is 1, 3 and 4, 2 and 3, 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So when you look at this kind of question, we need to have some basic information about the Planning Commission as well as the Niti Aayog. So now let us look at the options here. Very easy. The first statement is correct because Planning Commission is not a constitutional body. Whereas option 2, there is a difficulty because India did not follow directive planning. We rather followed what we can say indicative planning, where the government is to indicate, set some targets like we can achieve this, we can do that, like that. There was no particular directive planning to do. Okay. Option 3 is correct. Niti Aayog follows the cooperative federalism, competitive federalism, and the National Development Council was chaired by the Prime Minister of India, especially when the Planning Commission is to be present and approve the 5-year plan. We are the National Development Council. So what is the correct answer? The correct answer is A, that is 1, 3 and 4. So I have given here correct answer is A, 1, 3 and 4 only. Question number 13. This is with regard to inclusive growth. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Inclusive growth implies not only economic growth but also equitable distribution of opportunity as well as benefits. High GDP growth alone necessarily brings inclusive growth. There is a question mark on this statement. Financial inclusion, skill development, these are all actually part of the inclusive growth. The concept of inclusive growth gained prominence, especially after during 11th 5-year plan, right? So now when you have statements like this, we need to be very sure, very clear which of the statements are correct. So the options are A 1, 3 and 4, option B 1 and 2, option C 2, 3 and 4, option D all of them, right? So which will be the correct option? As I indicated already, there is some difficulty with statement number 2. So let us look at the analysis. Now if you see here, statement 1 is correct because inclusive growth basically talks about benefiting all the sections of society. Whereas statement number 2 is not really correct. Why? Because high GDP does not ensure inclusive growth. क्योंकि जीडीपी ग्रोथ में कुछ कुछ सेक्शन का डेवलपमेंट होता है, पूरा देश का डेवलपमेंट नहीं होता है. Therefore, statement 2 is not correct. This statement has a problem. Statement 3 and 4 are correct because inclusive growth has many components, and in India, inclusive growth was actually introduced during the 11th 5-year plan, and also it was the theme of the 12th 5-year plan. Okay, so these are like very basic concept that we need to keep in mind when we discuss the topic of inclusive growth. Okay, so let us move to question number 14. It is with regard to consumer price index for agricultural labors, CPI-AL. So now look at the statements. Here also there is some current affair as well. Now CPI-AL measures changes in the retail prices of goods and services consumed by agricultural households. CPI-AL is compiled by the Labor Bureau. CPI-AL is also used for fixing the minimum wages, and the base year for CPI-AL is now changed to 2019 from the earlier 1986 whatever. So which statements are correct? These kind of questions are most probable question for any type of competitive exam, even civil service exam. So the statements are 1, 2 and 3, 1 and 4, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Now if you look at the analysis, all these statements are actually correct. Okay, all the statements are correct. The important thing that you need to keep is the statement number 4. Recently, the government has changed the CPI-AL base year. Okay, the AL and RL, both the base years have been changed to 2019. So, exam perspective mein, this option number 4 will be very, very important to understand. Question number 15. Consider the following statements regarding money laundering in India. Money laundering involves hiding or concealing the origins of money, right, which are illegally obtained money to make it look as if it is legitimate. It is basically the conceptual part, what is money laundering. The Enforcement Directorate is the primary agency responsible for, investigating or enforcing PMLA Act 2002. Under the PMLA, proceeds of crime can be attached and confiscated. Option 4, the offences related to narcotic drugs are covered as predicate offences under the PMLA. Here we have some difficulty because of this word only. Okay, so now the options are 1, 2 and 3, 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3 and 4. All the statements 1, 2, 3 and 4. So which will be the correct option, right? You can make a guess. Meantime, I give you the solution. What is the correct answer for this? So if you look at it, the correct answer is A, 1, 2 and 3 only. So the correct answer would be 1, 2 and 3 only. That is the option A. Why? Option 4, there is a problem, as I told you. Only narcotic drugs related offences are not in the predicate of the PMLA. We have other things also like corruption, fraud, terrorism financing, tax related offences, etc. Okay, so there is therefore difficulty with the option number 4 because of that word only. Okay, so the correct answer will be A, 1, 2 and 3. Question number 16. Consider the following statements regarding the functions of Reserve Bank of India. The RBI acts as the banker, agent and advisor to the central government. The RBI has the sole authority to issue all currency notes and coins in India. RBI performs the function of lender of the last resort. The RBI is responsible for managing India ka forex reserve. So which of these statements are correct? So here we have a little difficulty with which one is the option number 2. So the options are 1, 3 and 4, yeah 1 and 2, yeah 2, 3 and 4, yeah 1, 2, 3 and 4. So as I told you, option 2 there is a difficulty. So can you guess what is the difficulty? What is the problem with option number 2? So let's look at here. Option number 2 is incorrect. Why? Because RBI is the authority for currency notes. Okay. But when it comes to coins, coins are issued by Government of India through the Coinage Act. Therefore, RBI is not the authority for coins in India. Therefore, option number 2 is wrong. So, what will be the correct answer? Then the correct answer will be A, 1, 3 and 4, because 2 will be wrong. Okay. So, this kind of questions can be little tricky for competitive exams and civil service exam, because we think that all currency notes, coins come under the RBI, though it is not really correct. Question number 17. So look at the question number 17. It is regarding Niti Aayog. The Niti Aayog was established through an executive resolution of the Government of India. Right? The Prime Minister of India serves as the chairperson of Niti. Niti Aayog has the power to allocate financial resources to states in the same manner as the earlier Planning Commission. The Governing Council of Niti Aayog includes the Chief Minister of States and Lieutenant Governors of Union Territory. So this question is a little bit, what we can say, technical question. So now if you look at the first option, okay, let's look at the options here. We have option A, 1, 2 and 3, that means the first 3. Option B, only 1 and 3. Option 2, 3 and 4, yeah, all of them, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what is the correct option? So if we look at the option 1 is okay. Option 2 is also okay. But option 3, we have a problem. Niti Aayog has the power to allocate financial resources. That is where the question is. Whereas this option is okay, because in the Governing Council meeting, the CM of the states and the LG of the Union Territory, they represent their particular states and UTs. So if you look at the question, what is the correct answer? The correct answer is option A. Only 1, 2 and 4. So the correct answer is option A. Only 1, 2 and 4. Why? Option 3, there is a problem. The Planning Commission had the power in a way to allocate finance, but Niti does not have the power to allocate finance to the states. Because Niti Aayog is basically an advisory body. It helps the government in making policy and development projects, etc. But it cannot allocate money to any particular state. Question number 18. Consider the following statements regarding the Consolidated Fund of India. All the revenues received by the Government of India and all loans raised by it from the various parts of the country and outside India, they are all part of Consolidated Fund of India. No money can be withdrawn from the Consolidated Fund of India without authorization by Parliament. Contingency fund expenditures are recouped, reimbursed after the Parliament approval. The credit of the Consolidated Fund of India is mentioned in Article 266 of the Constitution. So if you look at these statements, which of the statements are correct? So our options are 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 4, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So now we need to understand this question because it is also a little bit of technical question when we talk about consolidated fund, contingency fund, etc. So if you look at the answer is D. All the options are correct. Why? Because all the revenues received by the government and all the money borrowed by the government, it is deposited in the consolidated fund of India. So statement 1 definitely is correct. There is no doubt. No money can be withdrawn from the consolidated fund without parliament approval. Correct. Contingency fund has to be reimbursed after the parliament approves. Money has to be taken from consolidated fund and put back into contingency fund. Yes. Also, Article 266 deals with what we can say the consolidated fund management, etc. Even though the specific details about the consolidated fund also you will find in Article 283 of the Constitution. So you might refer to both these Article 266 and Article 283 also. It will be easier. Okay. So now these are what we can say some of the technical parts that when we need to understand when we talk about consolidated fund and contingency fund, etc. Question number 19. Consider the following statements regarding unemployment in India. Disguised unemployment generally occurs when more workers are employed in a task than actually they are required. Cyclical unemployment is associated with business cycle या trade cycle in capitalist economy. Structural unemployment arises due to seasonal variations in economic activity, and periodic labor force survey is conducted by the NSO, National Statistical Office. Actually, they publish the unemployment data. So the options are 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, means all the statements are correct. So what will be the correct solution for this? If you really look at the things carefully, we have a problem with structural unemployment. Matlab statement 3 is the problem. So let us look at the explanation. So if you look at the explanation here, statement 1 is correct and statement 2 also correct. Problem is with statement 3. Because structural unemployment is not because of seasonal variation, that is called seasonal unemployment. Structural unemployment comes when economy का structure change होता है because of skill का mismatch, technological change या the very organization of the economy itself. उस समय में हमको ये structural problem की issues arise होते हैं, right? Is this clear? So these kind of things that we need to keep in mind when we are preparing for our exam perspective. Okay, let's go to question number 20, the last question for the day. It is about the infrastructure regarding railway infrastructure. Now dedicated freight corridors are intended primarily to segregate freight traffic from the passenger traffic. Now this is very simple, easy, that is clear to understand. Dedicated Freight Corridor Corporation of India Limited is responsible for implementation of Dedicated Freight Corridor, right? We need to understand what is this if you are not familiar. The question number option 3, the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor stretches from Dadri in UP to JNPT in Navi Mumbai. Is it correct or not? Kavach is an indigenously developed automatic train protection system adopted by Indian Railways. So which of the statements are right or wrong? So our options are 1, 2 and 3, only 1 and 4, 2, 3 and 4, yeah 1, 2, 3 and 4. We have a different options here. So let us look at the answer. The answer is all the statements are correct. Why? Statement 1 is correct. The dedicated freight corridor tries to make the freight trains have a separately their own speed and the time they can reach. So there is no clash with the passenger train waiting. Now dedicated freight corridor corporation looks after this dedicated freight corridor, and this also important to know. The Western dedicated freight corridor goes from Dadri in UP to JNPT in Navi Mumbai, because many of the civil service exam prelims you might get this kind of questions as well. Kavach, maybe you are familiar, it's an indigenously developed automatic train protection system so that the lot of accidents can be avoided. Okay, so the government therefore said the Kavach system is being implemented so that train accidents can be averted. Okay, so now if you have any query regarding this kind of a quiz MCQ practice series, right, want to prepare for your exams, competitive exam, civil service exam, like various state government PCS, you can contact Bhadra IAS Academy at 8638391721. So for any query, any help, you can contact us on this number. We will be available to you. So thank you, and we will see you in the next discussion of our quiz.